Hey you guys, welcome back to Writer Mom. I'm so glad you've joined me today on my YouTube channel. I know it's been a little bit of long time no see around here. I haven't posted a new video in a few weeks and I have just had like a ton going on, and at the same time I had done some batching and then I just fell behind on like a new round of batching, and so just kind of like all around Writer Mom fell by the wayside a little bit as I got inundated with like end of year school stuff, my nephew graduating, my kids getting sick, me getting sick, just all kinds of stuff. And so yeah, but I am back now and doing a new round of batching these videos out so that I can get out at least a couple of videos each month over the summer, because I love putting out these videos as much as you guys like watching them. And yeah, I think it's really cool to just share what I'm learning and share my biggest takeaways with you guys as a writer mom, as an indie author who is trying to build a business from the ground up while also, you know, kind of managing my life as a mom and everything that entails. And I just feel like there's not a ton of other voices in the community, like in our indie author community, talking about this stuff, talking about like what it's like being an indie author, and trying to build a successful business while also, you know, being a parent and having all these mom duties or dad duties, and you know, just the emotional and side of it, the productivity side of that, and also just, you know, trying to make a name for yourself and make some money doing what you love. So I'm hoping to bring like a little bit of a different perspective to the author community. And so yeah, I'm back and I'm gonna be making sure to put out at least a couple videos each month over the summer. We will be traveling in a couple more weeks, but the plan is to batch a ton of videos today and keep some videos coming over the summer. So, and let me know what you think as well in the comments. If there's something that you'd like to see from me this summer, I'd love to hear your ideas on any topics, whether it's productivity, marketing, advertising, anything like that. Let me know. A few of you have sent me ideas already, so thank you. So I have a few of those videos coming up, but for today I wanted to talk about like what I focus on as an author, and what gives me like the best ROI on my time. Because as an indie author mom, I don't have like a ton of time to spend on my indie author business. I probably put in about full-time hours or less, probably less actually. I definitely don't work 8 hours a day. I probably work closer to like 4 to 6, just depending on what I have going on, if my kids are doing well, if they're sick, or if they have tons of stuff going on like extracurricular activities or school things, or if we have like family stuff going on. I'm usually putting in about 4 to 6 hours a day. And so far this year, I've made about $26,000. So I'm a little bit behind, considering I have a goal to make $100K this year. But you know what? I'm just gonna try to get there as much as I can, and I'm sure I'm still gonna be pretty happy with the results, because last year I made about like $8,000 or $9,000. So I feel like I'm fudging numbers because I've been sick the past couple of days, and my kids were sick the last week before that. But I think that's right. So I will correct this on screen if I'm not. But yeah, I just want to talk today about like what are the things in my author business that give me the best ROI on my time, that make me the most money. Because even if you're not an indie author mom, but especially if you are one, you want to focus on the things that give you the best ROI for your time. And because we just have a lot going on. So here are the things that I focus on in this world of like, here's, you know, people talking about 10 majillion things that we need to be doing, like Instagram and Facebook and ads and releasing every month and all of that. Like, we can't do all of that. It's just not realistic for us when you have like 2 or 3 little ones, or even just one little one, or, you know, maybe you have loved ones that you care for, or, you know, anything like that, or, you know, you have health issues and you either can't or you don't want to spend 10 to 12 hours or more a day working, if you actually want to focus on, your health, leveling up your health, not sitting as much, not eating out as much, and having time to cook and spend with your family, that's a huge priority for me. And so like I've really made it my mission in my author business for like the past year or two to really just focus on the things that move the needle for me the most. And so there's a few things that I consistently focus on every day or every week, and like everything else, not so much. And so today I'm going to go over those things. So like if you've heard of the 80-20 rule, I basically apply that to my business. I want to spend, the 20% of things that bring me like 80% of my ROI and my profit and money or whatever. Like I want to spend my time there. I don't want to spend it on the 80% that brings me in 20% of my ROI or my result or whatever. So, there's two major things. One is writing and releasing. So I always want to be working on my next book, my next release, whether that's drafting it, preparing for a launch, editing it, sending it to the editor, getting a cover designed for it. This is huge. I try to work on this every single day, Monday through Friday, sometimes also on the weekends. And I always try to make at least a little bit of progress here, even if my kids are throwing up or I don't feel good. Yesterday, like the past couple of days, I wasn't feeling great. I had a stomach bug, and when times like those hit, I still focus on this, but I make it something that's really easy. For example, like I said, I wasn't feeling that great last night. I was still recovering from a stomach bug, and so I had a book that I needed to read through and kind of make editing notes on, and just kind of read through as a reader and just kind of get a feel for the story. Are there any big gaping plot holes? Are the beats all there? Is everything happening as it should? Highlighting typos, that kind of thing. And so something like that is really easy to do when my kids are sick, or I'm sick, or I'm like sitting at the doctor's office, or we have a day of appointments, that kind of thing. And I can just read through on my phone. I upload the book on BookFunnel. I email the BookFunnel link to myself, and I open it up on my phone, and I just open up the book on my Kindle app, and I just read through it. And I'm just like highlighting things. Like I usually use yellow for like little typos, any small, tiny, insignificant edit that needs to be done. Like, oh, I've used the word after that, if I've used the same word like 3 times in the last 2 pages, and I'll highlight that. Or I'll use orange if it's something kind of like a medium edit that needs to happen. Like I said this over here, but I said something different over here. And so that's something that I need to pay a little bit more attention to, for example. And then I might use like red or something like that for like a big change, like some kind of big plot hole or something like that, which I don't usually need that color. I outline, so usually my drafts are pretty clean. I usually just have like yellow and orange edits to make, and then I also use pink if I find like a really good quote, a little good snippet of dialogue, or teaser that I can use on social media or in my newsletter. I'll highlight that in pink. And so that's what I do when I'm like not feeling great. I choose an activity like that where I don't need a ton of energy. I can do it from bed or on the couch or on the go. So for you, it might be something like that. Maybe you can get the Scrivener app on your phone and you can type out a few words. But that's definitely one of the number one things that I do to like just move my business forward. And I know that it's one of the things that gets me the most ROI and makes my business grow the most is putting out a new book. So I'm always like, okay, what am I going to put out next, and what can I do there? Whether it's outlining something new, I'm drafting something, or I'm editing. One of those 3 things needs to happen Monday through Friday. The other big thing is marketing, obviously, but marketing can entail so many things. There's 100 things you could do for marketing, and we don't have time to do 100 things. So here are the marketing things that I focus on the most and that I have found brings me the most ROI on my business. So for me, that's ads and my newsletter and anything that entails learning about those 2 things. So like taking a course, for example. But ads are by far the marketing activity that brings me the most ROI. So I work on that like pretty much every day, even on the weekends. Even if on Saturday or Sunday I'm just kind of glancing at my stats, maybe tweaking this or that, or turning something off or duplicating something. And then during the week I'm sitting down for a few more minutes to actually like look more closely at things, set up new ads, look for new audiences, try this new strategy. But I'm working on my ads every single day, because even though I'm only putting in anywhere from like 5 to 15 minutes to maybe an hour on a few days here and there, I use ads to like double my money or more. And even on bad days, I can at least get 1.5 times ROI of what I'm putting in. So for example, if I'm putting in $1, I'm getting back $1.50. So that's what happens on my bad days. On good days, I'm getting 2 times ROI, or even up to like during a launch when my books are getting way more visibility and there's more buzz around them and stuff like that, I can get up to 3.5 ROI. I've even seen 4 times ROI, which means I'm putting in $1, I'm getting back $3.50 or $4. But most of the time it's in the 2 to 2.5 range. So I'm putting in $1, getting anywhere from $2 to $2.50 back. So, and in exchange for 15 minutes to an hour of my time every day, I mean, that's a no-brainer. So I spend, that's my number one marketing thing that I do, is Facebook ads. For you, that might be Amazon ads or BookBub ads or a combination, something like that. But that's where I spend most of my time, is first of all learning ads, and then now managing my ads and running new ads. And I'm still learning more about ads. I'm taking a new course about ads and picking up new things there. So I highly recommend some kind of ads to just like get some ROI back on your royalties. So if you're making, let's say, $1,000 per month right now, ads can help you make $2,000 a month or more, depending on how many books you have out and kind of how to market they're written and everything. But I highly recommend ads as one of your few marketing things that you do, especially if you don't have a lot of time to spend on your indie author business. The other thing I said was my newsletter. So my newsletter goes out usually once a week. There might be times where I send out a little bit less or a little bit more, but most of the time it's one time a week. It usually has a couple of swaps of the other authors, and they share my book too. But this is one of the main ways that I stay in touch with my current readers, my actual fan base, whereas Facebook ads is more like finding new readers. My newsletter is like engaging my current readers, letting them know what I'm up to, what I'm working on, if a new book is out, just sharing extra teasers, running giveaways for them, just keeping me and my books top of mind for them. So my newsletter is my big one. I also have a Facebook group, but I'm in there also like one time a week. And that's probably my third biggest marketing thing, but I don't always get tons of engagement on Facebook just because they don't always show all your posts. So I prefer my newsletter, and then I'll either go live or post something in my Facebook group like once or twice a week. But that doesn't take too much time. But pretty much my ads, my newsletter, and kind of like in third place is my Facebook group. Whatever your favorite social media place is, but I would still put your ads and newsletter kind of like in front of that. And of course, anything that has to do with learning, whatever activities you're doing that are giving you your best ROI. So for you, if it's newsletters, maybe check out Newsletter Ninja, or if it's Facebook ads, check out a book on advertising. Chris Fox just put out one, and then there's also Michael Cooper's book, Help My Facebook Ads Suck. That's a good way to start out if you don't really know much about them. And for my newsletter, I also have an autoresponder going, which took time in the beginning to set up, but now it just kind of runs on autopilot, which is great. And it's just a sequence of emails that my readers get automatically, and it's just introducing them to me and my books and what's in it for them, and telling them more about me and what kind of stories I write, and me as a person, and sharing fun kid pictures and all that kind of stuff. So highly recommend doing something like that, because it'll keep them engaged and let them get to know you. And then that way, when they get your regular emails, they're like, oh, I know who this is, and I like her, and I like her emails, that kind of thing. So But yeah, those are basically the most important things that I focus on that give me the best ROI. So, the 20%, that gives me like 80% of my results and growth in my business. And I didn't mention a ton of things here. I mentioned my Facebook group, but that's pretty much it. I still don't spend a ton of time over there unless I'm on there live, and then I'm on there for like 30 minutes a week or something, just engaging and responding to comments and talking to people. But like Instagram, my fiction Instagram, I'm on there, like I post maybe once every week or two. I might post on my stories here and there, but for the most part I'm in my Facebook group, and I'm not on Twitter. I'm not like, that's, I don't do a ton of social media for my fiction because social media doesn't really sell books. My newsletter sells books, my Facebook ads sell books, even AMS ads, even though I'm not loving them at the moment, those can sell books better than social media. So yeah, I'm just not doing a ton of other things. I mean, I'm sure you've heard of tons of other things you can do, like Facebook parties and author signings and direct sales and, all kinds of things you could be doing. Book trailers, so many things. There's, creating bookmarks and other things like that. And I just don't do any of that. I don't do a ton of social media. I don't do any in-person things. I've done one, and it was at my local library, and it was free. So that's the only reason I did it. But other than that, that's what I do. I focus on my next release, and I make sure that I'm putting out a new book every 2 to 3 months, preferably every 2. And I'm trying to get it to be, a little bit sooner than that. And I'm either working on ads or my newsletter or maybe my Facebook group. That's it. So I highly recommend you kind of look at your author business. I would say no matter what you're doing, working on your next release needs to be your number one priority, because you're growing your backlist, which literally means you're growing your author business. And when you run ads, you're going to have an even better ROI because of the sell-through and the read-through and everything. And other than that, pick out maybe just one thing that you can focus on for now. If you're not really doing much or you're not sure what to focus on, pick one thing. Maybe it's Facebook ads or AMS ads or your newsletter. Just see what works best for you, and then pick the one that's getting you the best results and focus on really like iterating and learning as much as you can about it and like getting the most out of it. And so yeah, that's what I do. I don't want to spend even 8 hours a day working. I like working 4 to 6 hours and not working on the weekends. I never want to be the person that's working 10 to 14 hours a day, barely getting any sleep, eating out every day, not really hanging out with my kids or being present with them. Like, no. I know some people are like, but this person is working 14 hours a day and they're getting 6-figure months, blah, blah, blah. Like, that's fine for them, but I don't need to make 6 figures a month. I'd be very happy making 6 figures a year and having plenty of time to spend with my kids, travel, go outside for a walk and cook and hang out with my family and hang out at the pool. So, that's what I do. I think it's pretty smart to just focus on the, core 3 to 4 things that are going to help your author business grow the most. And then kind of just leave the rest. But yeah, just kind of try it out and see what works for you. You might find out, as I did, that you're spending a ton of time on social media or whatever it is, and it turns out it's kind of been a waste of your time. So yeah, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Let me know in the comments below, what are the activities that are helping your author business grow the most? And if you like today's video, make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss out on my next videos. And I'm going to have something special coming up for you guys. Make sure you're signed up at writermom.net to my newsletter so that you can find out more about it. I've kind of been teasing this in my newsletter a little bit. But if you like kind of finding out how my author business works and kind of what I'm doing that's working and getting me results, and you would love to actually dive a little bit more with me, like behind the scenes into numbers and specific strategies and what I'm actually doing and how much money ads are making me and stuff like that, and what I'm doing there, definitely go sign up at writermom.net. And there's going to be something cool coming up soon where you can find out more about that. So, all right, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.